the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl, set to go in Pasadena, 5 Eastern time. It's not New Year's Day. It's January 2nd on a Monday, but Penn State's still set to play Utah. Utah's favored by 2.5 points. For Penn State, I think this is about just kind of disposing of that whole narrative around the Ohio State and Michigan little brother thing, right? Ohio State and Michigan are both playing in the college football playoff, but Penn State's so sick of being considered that number 3 team in the Big Ten. Now, can't do anything to wash away those losses to Ohio State and Michigan. Those are set in stone, unfortunately, as of now. But if you can make a statement against Utah, if you can just assert your dominance against that kind of a program who has won the Pac-12 now 2 years in a row, I think that would do a lot for credibility for James Franklin and his program in Penn State. Probably do a lot for the Big Ten as well. Now, for Utah, they were in this football game last year, played Ohio State. A lot of people tell you Utah maybe should have won this game if it weren't for Jack Smith and Jigba having just an all Madden kind of day. Utah feels like they had this game put away. And put away is the wrong word. They thought they should have won this game, all right? So for them, this is about unfinished business. This is about taking care of what they didn't get done last season. Utah's excited to play in this game. There's no, bull hangover for either of these programs here where, they wish they were playing somewhere else. No, they're fired up to be in this game. And I think the interesting thing to look at, they both have a similar blue-collar, smash-mouth style of football play. They both run the football over 50% of the time. They're a run-first program, and they both feed their backs. How often do you see a boxer take a haymaker on the jaw, fall down, get up, and win the boxing match? Not that often, right? So my hinge point in this game, the first one that is, who falters first? Who takes that punch first? Maybe you want to look at the other side of things. Who's able to land that haymaker first? Who lands the 10 to 12 play drive where you just lean on the opposition and cause that other side of the line to fold? Because that does a lot for momentum, right? I mean, in terms of attitude, saying, okay, we can play with these guys, right? We can kind of do what we want to do offensively against them. That's one piece. The other piece is just a psyche standpoint of wearing them down. Of wearing the opposition down, because when you see both these programs, when you look at their success, I'll start with Utah. Think about that game against USC in the Pac-12 title game. It was back and forth a little bit. USC actually got the lead in the early going, but then Utah just bullied them in the second half, wore them down physically. That's going to be something that both these programs want to do, is be able to win the second half, but it starts with landing that first haymaker. That's going to be huge for momentum. If you haven't yet subscribed, we'd love to have you. No time like the present. It's the Rose Bowl. No time for half-stepping. Make sure you're locked in. Make sure you're subscribed. We got a lot of content coming for you. College football is a 12-month-a-year sport. We don't take a break. All right? Also, follow me on the socials at JD Piquel on Twitter and on Instagram. Who can be more opportunistic? It's fun to say. Who can create more turnovers? They're both averaging 2 takeaways a game, is Utah and Penn State. But the reason why I think this is so important is it's important in every game, but it's so important in this game because both of these programs rely on the run consistently. And when you rely on the run, I like to say it's like a ping pong style of play. You're just going to keep hitting the ball over and hitting the ball over and hitting the ball over until the other team makes a mistake. Well, with both these programs being pretty mistake-free for the most part, that first one is really going to be impactful because they operate on that ping-pong style of play. So if you spot them a lead, if you spot them an extra possession, it's difficult to come back from. I'm not saying that's going to decide the game, but I'm just saying that's going to be a key variable in how this game plays out. Think of it this way, going back to that fighting metaphor. But both these programs like to submit their opponent. They like to just put them in the sleeper hold and put them to sleep. It's hard to put somebody to sleep when you keep letting them up for air, or if you let them get a little bit of air. And the little bit of air would be that turnover. So which of these programs has that turnover? Which of these programs, dare I say, has 2 turnovers? That's going to be a really big factor in this football game. So even with that being said, I think both these teams are built relatively the same. Not to say they're the exact same team, obviously, but both want to dominate the line of scrimmage. They both want to run instead of the pass. So when you have all those variables more or less kind of cancel out, I'm looking at the quarterbacks. And in a game like this, with the granddaddy of them all, the Rose Bowl on the line, I think this is the kind of game where you expect your quarterback to step up. So is it Sean Clifford or is it Cam Rising? I'll take it a step further. On 3rd and 10, who can make a play? Who can make a play to win the football game for you? I think those are the two guys that you got to look to. In a stage like this, you're not looking to your tight end or your running back or your linebacker to make a play. Of course, it's a team effort, but I think in this kind of game, you ask your quarterback to step up in a big way, and these are the two guys to do it. Both guys that have played a whole lot of football. Sean Clifford, right up there with Stetson Bennett as one of the oldest guys playing football right now. But I'm excited to see which one answers the call to action. I think they both also could use their feet a little bit in this game, so keep an eye on that in terms of making plays, but that could also be a big difference maker. So, when all the dust settles, our prediction in this game, I talked about the quarterback position being the difference maker. Tell you what, Cam Rising, time and time again, I've just seen him step up when the lights are the brightest. Both times against USC, the first time against USC, getting in the end zone for a 2-point conversion, the way he led his team in the second half in the Pac-12 title game. I've just seen him answer the call to action time and time again. And I think the chip on Utah's shoulder, remembering what happened last year, propels them in this game. I think Utah ends up winning this football game in dramatic fashion. I think the final score is 30-28 as Utah gets it done in Pasadena. Hey y'all, thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.